Hi, and welcome to Orientation for Linux Administration. In these demonstrations, I will have written lesson plans on the left-hand side with demonstrations on the right-hand side, and I have a lot of demonstrations to get to. My first point is that I call it new/Linux because one component of the Linux operating system is new software, and then the other is the Linux kernel that the shell and other applications use to communicate with the hardware. So the kernel is an intermediary between the shell and the hardware. So that's a point that I want to make. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to allow the student to read this text. I don't want to recite from this text. I'm going to also show my references in the description and also in the text. And go see this video. It's if you wanted to know the story of Linux. Now I'm using CentOS 7, and that's very closely related to Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And it requires 1 GB of memory and 20 GB of hard space with a 10 GB minimum. So that's just something to keep in mind as you will be installing these systems. Here are some other references. And as the framework for my studies, I am using the Linux Foundation Certified System Administrator. And as you can see here on the left, the requirements are quite broad. And I'm just going to scroll down just so that you can read the requirements for this exam. And I will be covering all of these requirements, but the next set of videos will concentrate on Chapter 1. And so here are the requirements for the RHCSA, the Red Hat Certified System Administrator course. I'm just going to allow you to read these and just, I guess, compare and contrast with the LFCS. They are both, let me scroll up and I'll show you something else. Let me demonstrate something. These are practical-based exams, which means that you will be solving what amounts to something like a word problem with the live servers that they are providing for you. At least that's the way it is for the LFCS test. I've already taken it once and failed it. So this is going to help me study. I hope this helps you study as well. Now let me move over to the right-hand side of the screen. And as you can see, Chapter 1 is essential commands. That's 1/4 of the entire test. And we are here, orientation. The next video will be installing VirtualBox. The next video after that will be installing CentOS 7, and then setting up a static IP address, and then accessing your server by remote using PuTTY. Many times you will be accessing servers by remote using some kind of SSH client like PuTTY. I think that's enough for this video, and I can't wait to get to these demonstrations, and I will see you later.